my period of service, which includes the span of 3 wars. I tell you, I don't need or want any more war. But then I could have made the same statement a month after I arrived in Europe in 1944. Nobody in his right mind welcomes war, especially those who have seen it. The carnage, the destruction, the pain are beyond telling. But the less prepared we are, the more wishful our thinking, the greater the cost of war when it comes. I came into the Army in 1936. Where I was, we were a horseback and rifle army in a country that was still largely convinced that we couldn't have another world war until we were forced into action, and you know what happened. We did not prepare. When we could no longer avoid it, we got thrown into a huge war in Europe, unready, ill-trained in many respects, saved only by distance and the time our allies' efforts bought for us. In the Pacific, we relentlessly avoided Japan's clear warnings of her capability and even of her intent. We have Pearl Harbor and Bataan to remember for our complacent outlook. The cost was dreadful. In Europe, in Africa, in the Pacific, we paid, and paid again in lives, in blood, for our unpreparedness, for our insistence that because our shores were not under direct attack, we were at peace. When the war ended, we erased history again. We pretended that guaranteed peace was at hand. We were so anxious to achieve the dream of peace that we closed our eyes to the facts of capability, to the reality of threat. We cut back our armed forces to nearly nothing and allowed our strength to dissipate. When the Korean War broke out, the situation was not much different than it had been in the opening days of the Second World War. We were not prepared. We were not adequately trained. We were not adequately equipped. But we entered the war rapidly, throwing half-ready units in to buy time for the Army to get ready. And again, we paid dearly for our unpreparedness during those early days in Korea with our most precious asset, the lives of men. The monuments we raised to their heroism and sacrifice are really surrogates for the monuments we owe ourselves, for our blindness to reality, for our indifference to the real threats to our security, for our determination to deal in intentions and perceptions, and for our unsubstantiated wishful thinking about how war could not come. These costs of our unreadiness in just the years I've been in the Army, in the span of just one man's service, can be charged off to the natural human desire for peace.